In this video, I'm going to share a few tips on how to practice exercise 20 from the Art of Comping. We've already covered exercise 19, so feel free to check out that video if you'd like. In the course, we gave you the written music for these final workouts, 19 through 22, in just one key. And that was intentional. It forces you to play without relying on the page, which is really the ideal way to practice them. But if you're a beginner or even an intermediate player, these exercises might feel a bit challenging. That's why I'm creating these helpful tutorials with the exercise written out in all keys for those of you who found them a bit too intense. For this exercise, I also created a preparation exercise because I find it pretty challenging myself. So let's start with that preparation exercise. And by the way, I will be adding this PDF for all of our Patreon members. And you can also download it on mDecks.com. So in the original exercise, we're playing a 2-5-1 twice like this. If you look at the 5-7 voicing, you can actually think of it as a diminished seventh built on the 2. So for C7, we play a G diminished 7 chord. This turns the C7 into a C7 flat 9. And the next time we add one extra note, this F sharp right here. That's the sharp 11 of C7. But I want you to think of it as a tension a whole step above the diminished chord. You can also think of it as the major 7th of the G diminished chord if you'd like. The main idea is to understand that when you're playing a diminished chord, any note a whole step above one of the chord tones makes a great tension to add to your voicing. Another thing I want you to notice is that on the 2 chord, we're using an upper structure, the 5 minor. So over G minor 7, we're playing a D minor triad in root position. All right, so with these concepts in mind, let's take a look at the preparation exercise. This exercise is going to help you learn the voicings perfectly in all keys before you try the actual exercise. Look, in the first measure, we play a 1 major 7 and a 2 minor 7. And actually, we're using some passing chords here, so you can think of them as 1 major 7, 2 minor 7, 3 minor 7, and then back to the 2 chord. And we're just playing all the chords in root position, but splitting the chord into 2 notes on the left and 2 on the right. So if we want to play this in, let's say, the key of G flat major, then we play this. And in G major, it's going to be this. Now in measure 2, we're going to extend the chords by one more note like this. And then in the next measure, we're going to play the final voicings. Look at the difference between the new voicings and the old ones. On the 1 major 7th, we're swapping the root for the 9th on the left hand. So for F major 7, we play G and A instead of F and A. And on the G minor 7, we're swapping the root with the flat 7th. And we follow it with the G diminished 7 chord. So here's the entire exercise in F major. Now, let's play it in G flat major. So we play 1, 2, 3 using 2 notes on each hand. And then 1 major 7 to 2 minor, but extending the chords by one more note. And now we play the final voicings by replacing the roots and adding the 2 diminished 7 chord. Awesome. Try this in all keys until you can play it without reading any notes. One way you can test yourself is this. Choose a key, let's say E major, and play 1, 2, 3, 2. Then 1, 2 with extensions. And finally, the 1, 2, 2 diminished, 1 with the root replacements. So now we're ready to start practicing the final exercise. First, try playing only on measures 1 and 3, resting on measure 2 with the backing track. And on measure 3, play the exact same voicing first, like this. Now we can add the tension on this voicing. Remember, it's a whole step above the top note. Next, we can add the 5-7 of 2 voicings. Notice that this is a 7-sharp-9 chord with an upper structure. And you know what? I'm going to add an extra workout for this voicing because if you've never played these voicings before, they can be a little tricky. So in D7-sharp-9, we play the 2 guide tones with an extra note. This is a 3-7-sharp-9 voicing. Notice that the top note, the sharp 9, is always a perfect fourth above the flat 7. And on the right hand, we're playing the minor 1 chord. So over D7-sharp-9, we play a D minor triad in second inversion with the 3rd as the top note. So on an E-flat 7-sharp-9, we would play this. Let's try incorporating that chord into the original workout. For now, just rest on the last chord before changing keys. All right, one more voicing to learn. This is a 7-sharp-11 chord with an augmented triad upper structure. And the trick here is to understand that this chord belongs to the next key. It's the 5 of 2 of the next key. And remember, we're modulating chromatically upward. So if we're in F major, then we're modulating to G flat major, and this is going to be the 5-7 of A flat minor 7, the 2 chord in G flat major. Another way to see this is that the D7-sharp-9 is also the 5 of 2. So if we're modulating upward, then this chord is going to be a half step above it. The tricky part is that the voicing for this chord is completely different. But it's not really that difficult. Look, in this chord, we're also playing the 2 guide tones on the left hand, the 3 and the flat 7. And on the right hand, we're playing an augmented triad that also has the flat 7 as the top note. So let's say we're modulating to the key of C major. Then the 5 of 2 would be A7. So we play the 2 guide tones, C sharp and G on the left hand, and an augmented triad with G on top. And yes, you can see this triad as a B augmented, or an E flat augmented, or even a G augmented. Just choose the one that's easiest for you. And that's it. Now you're ready to play the entire exercise. I hope this tutorial was useful. Remember to check out The Art of Comping on mDecks.com. It comes with lots of exercises, tutorials, and backing tracks. Thanks again for watching. Hope to see you on the next video.